good evening, good morning, wherever you'll be getting this program from. This is Lower Niger Radio, and we are live here today, Saturday, the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, of June, right? And we want to apologize for our listening viewers that we've been having challenge in technical challenges. That's why we're a little bit late. And today we have full house. We have Mr. Steve and Dr. Gosta here. And today we want to be deliberating on a particular topic right in front of us. And before we move forward, Mr. Steve, please, I want you to please kindly give us a recap of something you believe Nigerians are supposed to hear before we dive into the basic issue for today's Saturday program.
Before Mr. Steve goes on, today is the 25th, actually.
25th,
yes.
We get it.
You see, I really want this month to just go, you know. I have a lot lined up for July for myself.
Yes. I wanted to make mention of that, but thank you, Augusta, for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we want to greet all our people around the world and wish them the best of the week, the best of the day, and the best that life offers them. And we are introducing to our people once again their own voice, the voice of Lower Niger Territory, and what it stands for: liberty and freedom for our people, leading to self-determination. Self-determination is an inalienable right for indigenous ethnic nations in their ancestral lands. If you've been scammed by promises of freedom where the leader has not defined it properly, well, we are here to restore hope, to let our people know that there is a great opportunity on the horizon for them. NINA's movement declared historic constitutional force majeure on the 16th of December 2020 to trigger the enforcement of over 20 years of painstaking self-determination work. Let us raise our consciousness so that together we can follow the right pathway to regain our self-determination hijacked by the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. Lower Niger Radio will be live as we are right now to share this good news with our people and to let them know that if there is anything to look forward to, if there is anything to be hopeful for, it is the call for constitutional force for referendum vote over Nigeria's continued existence as is. And there lies the hope for our people. And there is something else also we've noticed: the PVC storage. It has happened before. Remember that we voted for MK Abiola and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Any revolution that stops at getting the Fulani cloned constitution dealt with is not properly channeled. That is the goal, and that will be the goal, and that is what it is all about. The enemy we're dealing with has got ABC plans, and we should not be trapped by any of their plans. But together, the youth especially can force a change by demanding for multi-regional referendum before any further elections in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steve. The topic before us today is permanent freedom for the indigenous people or temporary power of 4 to 8 years for a single politician. Which of them do you want to go for?
Yeah.
Please, if you are watching this program, I want you to share. I want you to subscribe. I want you to tag friends, because this program is exclusively designed for our people back home, because we are here to move Nigeria out of that shackles, that stagnation, that rigmarolling we have been facing for decades, even before the existence of the name Nigeria. So we are here to redefine what that country should be like, what indigenous people should be benefiting from as the citizens of of a nation. So this morning this afternoon, my time, we'll be inviting Dr. Augusta to please kindly give Nigerians a brief details on how we are defining the 1999 Constitution that is the major catastrophe and the major problem of the system of Nigeria. Please, ma, I want you to educate Nigerians, because where I come from, they said if you are lack of information, that means you are not informed of what is going on. But let's get information so that we will know what is going on and what to do and where to go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother Donald. For our people, a lot has gone under the sea. We have been experiencing the hardest, most inhumane situation back at home. For some people, they felt by now that they should get relief. But the truth about it is that there's something that is fundamentally wrong with the way Nigeria is structured. Yes, it's been wrong from day one, from the Futajalon era, from the Usman Dan Fodio era, and all that. It's been wrong from day one. But for the past 21, 22, 23 years, in 1999, they brought out a constitution that we, the people, did not. We didn't even have a read on that constitution. There was nothing like plebiscite. There was nothing like a draft that the indigenous people agreed upon to say, okay, this is how we want to be ruled or how we want to be governed. There was nothing like that. So, and this piece of paper was actually brought from the backyard. You remember that time we had the 1993 election where Abiola won, fair and clean. But at the end of the day, they manipulated that election and made sure that he did not get his mandate. So after all the atrocities that they came up with, they eventually had to let Abiola go. So in order to compensate people from the southwest area, they brought Obasanjo that was in jail. They had a way to compensate people from the southwest area. So in doing that, they brought Obasanjo and gave him the presidency. They practically gave him the presidency. On giving him the presidency, Obasanjo, on the day he was sworn in, did not even have the constitution that he was sworn in. He did not. If you heard from the then, I think is the information minister, that would be, what is his name? Nwodo. I think he was the information minister then.
He was, yes.
Yeah. I think we're having technical issues from that end. Please, if you're listening to our program right now, kindly understand that you can call in this program through the WhatsApp. Our phone number is displaying right here. You can easily call in and make your own contribution towards this issue we are deliberating on. You can call in the WhatsApp right displaying on the screen. The +1 40 240 204 1236. And Brother Steve, we all understand the basis and the point Nigeria is now, because the point that Nigeria is now is a point of no return if we fail to apply the right principle. Because checking around what is happening around the obedient, the articulation, the Jagabanis, all around youth that are supposed to be checking the basis and the fundamental issue of the system of the country, because I've never seen a man that will build a skyscraper upon a two-story foundation. And except they said if you fail to plan, that means you've planned to fail. So yeah. This is the same narrative. When I came out the last time, I was trying to educate, and most people that knew about the situation of Nigeria were trying to educate the youths that went on NSAS back then. They failed to want to comply. Now they've come up with another system, which at the end they all are going to regret about. So I really don't know why it's happening, if they are lack of information or they are failing to understand that information is what we need. We need to apply a formula like the HCL and the LECM of back in the days. We have to go to the square root of this issue. Please analyze on this topic that we have before us, and let's educate our people so that we can move forward. Nigeria must not remain the way it is now. It is running around roaring from decade to decade, and we are failing to understand this.
Well, Nigerians are looking for easy way out. That's one thing I must say right away. Nigerians are looking for the easiest way out of their situation. Unfortunately, the current situation we find ourselves with in Nigeria is such that requires a detailed, thought out plan approach to get executed. I will start with the Abiola crisis after the election of MKO Abiola that was hijacked by the Fulani Caliphate. MKO Abiola did not just win in the Southwest, he won in the South, he won everywhere, including at his opponent's polling booth. MKO Abiola, many of us, that was our only election that we participated in Nigeria to this day. But the demonstration, the action that followed the annulment of Abiola's election was truncated by the government of the day. Remember, they started by giving Ernest Shonekan, that died not long ago, the interim leadership. It was to calm the situation down momentarily. They had their plan. And remember, while Shonekan was there, they used their man, Sani Abacha, to remove him. Sani Abacha was, in fact, he was put there as Secretary of Defense, Minister of Defense. He was not the choice of Shonekan or the interim government. Abacha was put there by the Caliphate in order to take over. 6 months later, they did exactly that. So Nigerians have been going through this serious situation, and the people they are dealing with are very detailed in their intentions. They weren't playing, and they are still not joking as we speak. You can see what they are doing now. They've planted Tinubu in the Southwest. Atiku, their man, is in the North. Okay, so what they are planning is to repeat what they've done before. Whoever they do not want will not win this election. Our people must realize that this divide and rule process is what they inherited from the British. And they're applying it every day in Nigeria, trying to make sure that they divide the South. And so the surge that PVC seekers are going for is just, it's not even out of the gate yet. The election itself has been decided. They told us today, an APC spokesperson, in reacting to the ongoing surge, says it doesn't matter who wins the election, that the APC have already won. So what are we talking about? They have already determined the outcome of the election. And so where does that leave the PVC seeker or the PVC surge? Demand for referendum. That is a better solution to what we are going through. Demand for referendum, a binding multi-regional referendum, so that people from South-South, people from Southeast called Lower Niger Territory, people from Southwest called Oduduwa Nation, and Middle Belt, the one that is facing the most heinous genocide in present-day Nigeria. The people in this area, Southern Kaduna, Kajuru, where they killed people in the church last week, as we were burying that of our war, they are killing more across the country. This is the Fulani land grab army. So our people should collectively demand for referendum that they want to have Nigeria sorted out first before we go for any election. Ayo Adebanjo, I believe, have made this call Professor Wole Soyinka have made the same call. Many other people have made the same call that Nigeria needs to go through multi-regional referendum vote before any further elections so that we can save more lives, so that we can build a more cohesive, unified nations or federation, whatever our people decide. So there is no need going after what has been stolen already, unless you are going to do something else. But if it is about voting, they have a lot in their play bag. And the only solution is to channel this energy for PVC into the demand for multi-regional referendum. That is the more better step to take.
So with all this analysis now, let's go to Dr. Augusta. Please, can you please, ma? Please, can we also remind Nigerians that the Fulani conquest agenda that has turned Nigerians into a master and slave via the caliphate imposed unitary constitution ordered by the confiscated, ordered that they confiscated our sovereignty through the constituent way of the 1999 constitution arranged by these same people. Is there any way you can expatiate on this so that our people will understand the basis of the caliphate drive that has been on ground, that has enslaved our the indigenous people of Nigerians?
Yeah, of course. Remember, we have explained this, in a number of ways, that the Constitution, the way it is written, there is no way. You bring Peter Obi today to be the president of Nigeria, his hands will be tied. His hands will be tied. You understand? Everybody is hoping he's going to come and turn Nigeria around with this in a split second. Honestly, I would prefer Peter Obi to come and head my new nation rather than be entrapped in that constitution, because he is going to, on the first day, lay his hands upon that constitution, and he's going to do exactly what that constitution wants him to do, which is continue to hold the people in a chokehold. Like when you are holding somebody in the neck and you don't want to release the person. That is what the constitution is all about. The Fulanis, they've had this agenda a long time ago. They've had an agenda way back. They've had this agenda. And the agenda is to take away what belongs to the rightful owners. And they are doing it. Buhari came and made it so obvious. All along, they've been doing this thing on the ground, trying to subvert what belongs to the entire nation. But Buhari actually made it became so obvious that this is what these people want. And they don't care anybody that comes in between them. They would get what they want. Now, about the Constitution, there are 68 items on the exclusive list. We've talked about this before, a long time ago. These items on that list is what is holding us from not getting to where we're supposed to get to. Is these items on this list that is making it impossible for us to move ahead. And when you tell people that, hey, unless we bring down that Constitution, we are just, making so much noise. Okay, look at it now. In charge of PVC is a Fulani guy. The person in charge of collating the results of the PVC is a Fulani guy. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, don't worry, let me go and get my PVC. When I vote, it is electronically transmitted. Duh. Yes, it is electronically transmitted. But I feel forgotten that in using computer, it's what you put in that you get the result of.
That's right.
So if it is electronically transmitted, they can just add 0 by the corner, and that nullifies the entire thing. They can add double 0 by the corner. There's already this. They can just already this saying that in Borno, where they don't even have internet, people have registered more online than Lagos. Virtually everybody in Lagos has a smartphone. Does that not tell you what these people are after? You think they do not understand that they don't know the politics they are playing? They are playing this politics because they know that at the end of the day, it is themselves and themselves alone. So we are telling our people, it's not about putting, even Peter Obi himself said that the instrument of work is actually fundamentally destroyed. It's not about changing the driver, it's about pulling that instrument. He had already said it. I'm paraphrasing this time.
Yes.
He had already said it.
Yeah.
Because if what you are given to work with is faulty, how do you think you can remedy it? You would demand for a new thing to be able to start work, right?
Yes.
It's like when you have a car and the engine of that car knocked. How in the heaven would you move the car? So that is what we are telling people. It is not about trying to the defectiveness in that constitution is enormous. It's too much. And if you all remember, there was a time the APC people were trying to flaunt Jonathan to go and run again.
Yeah.
And they have told anybody that cared to listen that whomever you are, you cannot mess up with the 1999 Constitution, because this is what gives them the right to hang on to the sovereignty of our people. The funny thing that they missed out is that in that same Constitution, they said that power belongs to the people. And I would advise our people, since power belongs to us, isn't it time we told them to get the hell out of that stronghold? Isn't it time we told them, hey, what we wanted is a multi-regional referendum. We're talking about like all ethnic nationalities. You understand? Not just the Igbos. We want the Kanuris, the Yorubas, the wherever you come from, the Ishan, every multi-ethnic nationalities will come out and say, you know what? We want to determine whether we want to belong in this country or whether we want to be on our own. And Ninas has the strategy. All we needed to do is to follow that strategy. Everybody has come up and said that constitution is faulty. So if the constitution is faulty, then why are we wasting our time? Why don't we just take it out? Once the constitution goes out, the domino 2 effect, which is part of the Nina strategy, is going to kick in. And if it kicks in, every union will be on their own. Then they will now decide there should be a transitional government. They will now decide whether to remain in the union or not. So this is the explanation we've been giving to our people. For some reason, they are just tone deaf. I don't understand. Continue, Brian.
Yeah, in addition to what you've just said, I think the people have not realized that whoever that is coming into power now must swear to that constitution. And
exactly.
This is the same constitution that we've been using since 1999 that has not given us any progress, that has resulted to the killings, the unemployment, the bad roads, the insecurity, the misuse of power and funds by all these government people, officials flaunting themselves around. They think anybody can just come in and just change that constitution after they've given power to that whoever they are giving power to, because the only way they can retain that constitution is through this electoral process, which they understand this basis too well. That is why they are doing everything humanly possible to ensure that election must hold. And our people are so shown blinded to understand that, like, this is the basis of what these guys are cooking to ensure that they retain this constitution. Brother Steve, what do you think the people right now can do? Because we are not concerned about whatever platform these guys are organizing. PDP, APC, Labour, whatever political party they call themselves, we are not concerned about them. Our major concern is the people. The indigenous people of Nigeria, the Urobo, the Shekiri, the Jaw, the Kalabari, the Ogoni, name them. We have more than 200 and something languages in Nigeria. These are the people, the Middle Belt and the Southerners. These are the people we are clamoring for. So what do you think, information do you think we can pass across to these people? Because they need to understand why we are here. We are not here to make them feel bad, but we are here to give them something that will be useful for the betterment for our present Nigeria and in the betterment. If I will put if there will still be Nigeria, because if they give us power to decide according to the 1999 constitution, that means we are going to decide if there will still be Nigeria or there will not be Nigeria. So as at this, please, let's educate Nigerians on how we're going to transit from this evil agenda that they are perpetrating on using to kill our people.
Thank you very much, Donald. Our people need not go for half measures. That's what PVC is all about. PVC is about half measures, halfway solution. The only solution, the only way out for us in this whole thing is to look at Nigeria and say to ourselves, what exactly ties us together? What ties someone from...
Brother Steve, can you please, let's take this first caller. We have a caller this afternoon.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is this LN Radio?
Yes. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling in.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Hello, yes. My name is Ndidi Mwechwe. I'm calling from Abuja, and I know Augusta, and I also know Stephen. So I want to say good evening to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and I'm a signatory to the Constitutional Force Majeure. Everything you're saying is correct. And one of the reasons that, the young people of Nigeria are thinking that P2OB and PVC will save them is because the church has been lying to them. Influencers have been lying to them. Yeah. And their traditional rulers have been lying to them. True. They don't know that. So those three groups have been lying to them. We know the politicians were lied. That one is a given. But the pastors and priests, the bishops are lying. All the influencers, I see them on Twitter, they're lying to them. And the traditional rulers, Oba, Obi, whatever they are, some of these cultural leaders, Fenifere, all of them, they're lying to them. And so they're not telling the young people the truth. That 1999 constitution is the entry visa of the Fulani. Without that, the Fulani would be foreigners in your ancestral land. So if there's any young person listening, it's like this. I'm not Chinese. For me to go to China, I will have to apply for a visa. It's only if they give me a visa, I can now step into China. Without the visa, I'm outside of China. That is exactly what the 1999 constitution is for the Fulani. Yes. The Fulani are not Nigerians. My ancestry is in Nwane. It's the Igbo part of Delta. So it's not far from Asaba, that kind of area, Nwane. At no point did my ancestors say that Fulani can step in our land. The Union of Nigeria ended in 1966. Since 1966 military coups, the Fulani should have gone back to Futajalon or back to wherever they came from and not be in my ancestral land. But they stayed in my ancestral land because they used military decrees. After that, in 1999, they used another military decree, which they labeled 1999 Constitution. Otherwise, the Fulani have no legitimate right to be in my ancestral land. It's that constitution that brings them in. Yeah. And young people need to understand that. The union ended in 1966. It's like a divorce. A couple are divorced, ex-husband now and ex-wife. They're no longer married. The ex-husband has no right to come to his ex-wife. They're divorced. It's only if, they date each other and then the ex-husband will ask his ex-wife, do you want to remarry me? That they can now go back in a relationship. Otherwise, the marriage is over. And that's the position that we are in. Nigeria ended in 1966. Fulani have no right anywhere in Nwane, except that constitution brings them. And the Fulani are doing what they want to because, they're benefiting. but it is my politicians, it's my local government chairman, my governor, Okowa, and all the commissioners, plus our judges, who swear an oath to uphold that constitution and to defend it. They open the door to the Fulani. It is my politicians, and it is therefore my politicians that are guilty of all the killings, because they are the ones bringing the kidnapping, the rapes, and the killings by the Fulani. So the young people need to understand that the constitution is the entry visa of the Fulani and their own politicians.
That's exactly where I was going.
So that was my contribution for tonight. I'll call in again, perhaps later on today or another time. But I think young people need to know that 1999 constitution is a forgery.
Thank you very much.
Like if I give you photocopy of a 1,000 naira color photocopy, it's worth nothing. It's not money. You cannot spend it anywhere. It's a photocopy.
That is exactly the constitution of Nigeria.
That 1999 constitution is make-believe.
Yes.
Okowa knows it. Our commissioners know it. The judges know it. My traditional rulers know it. My farm was destroyed by the Fulani, and it is my leaders who allowed the Fulani into my area to destroy my farm.
Yeah.
And we need to know this. And people who are being killed, it's because of that constitution and our own politicians.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I think I said that point. So thank you very much for allowing me to make my contribution.
Thank you so much for this wonderful contribution. And this has actually given me the opportunity to want to narrow for us to quickly talk about what has been preserving this constitution. Because what has been preserving this constitution is what has been keeping our problem. You understand? So it is important for us to open the eyes of our people to understand that there are things that has been keeping this constitution up to this very moment. What has been preserving this constitution? Like our sister narrated, he said the religious leaders are part of it. She said the traditional rulers are part of it, and our local government chairman and our representative are part of this problem, which we normally call them the Judas goats, because they are there to lead all their fellow indigenous people to the place where they will be slaughtered and killed. So is there any way, any of all these areas you want to quickly touch on, Mr. Steve?
I was actually going to touch on exactly what Ndidi said. Ndidi, thank you for calling, and your points are spot on. They are very, very much at the heart of what this is all about. And so I was saying back then that the thing that binds us together with our killers, the thing that binds people of Benue State, people of Middle Belt to their killers is the Nigerian 1999 photocopied decree 1979 Constitution of 1999. See, this slave document, the work on this document actually started way back, 1966, when Nigeria officially died, when the union that gave birth to Nigeria was broken. That union has not been brought back again. And that's why more than 20 years ago, Ninas came up with the fact that this is the right step to go after the Constitution, that thing that keeps us together with our killers, that we should go for it and look at it and see what's going on. And like Sister Augusta and Ndidi rightly pointed out, there was no referendum, there was no plebiscite, there was no vote. And so this slave document gave right to someone from Sokoto or Jigawa to the oil and gas deposited in the Lower Niger territory. This slave document gave right to people that are not Nigerians coming into open borders from the north with animals and AK-47 and AK-49 to kill the indigenous people, to take their land. This slave document allowed terrorists to go across Nigeria while Nigerians were on lockdown under COVID encircling communities, taking over forests and farms, killing people, extorting money from them, going to the highways, taking over highways. This constitution led to the killing of Pafas Oranti's daughter in her own father's state, on the road. This constitution took away every right of a citizen from Nigerians. And so when we're talking about this surge for PVC, I say that our people need to look deeper. Their problem is actually Nigeria. The continued existence of Nigeria is the problem of our people. That is why our people do not have medical care. That's why our people cannot go to the market and be sure that what they bought last week, they are still going to meet its same price this week. It is the constitution that the Nigerian schools are still locked. The universities have been locked down throughout this year. It is because of this constitution that people in government are stealing money like nothing. Like, even because of this constitution, money launderers, drug dealers are angling to become Nigeria's president.
Imagine.
So the criminal document is breeding criminality in Nigeria. That's why when they arrest some young people for doing something, they say it's Yahoo, Yahoo. I'm wondering, when the president and the vice president and every other ministers and every other clerk in government offices are robbing the country.
They are the king of Yahoo, Yahoo.
Yes, they are the major Yahoo, Yahoo. And they go after these young people to make a show of them because they hold power. And so the solution to Nigeria's woes is to jettison the Constitution of 1999 and press on for a more people-oriented, people-voted for, people's commitment constitution. If we don't do this, we're only increasing the problem, because Nigeria's situation is not getting any better by the day, it's getting worse. So the more they think they are in charge, the more they are destroying the country more. And one of the things that is ever lacking in Nigeria is the truth. Nigerians believe in lies.
Yeah.
That's why they think that election will solve their problem. You know, I know that people are disappointed over the fact that they were promised freedom here and there, and everything fell apart. But there is a way out. We should all swallow our pride and look at the message that Ninas has been sharing for years now, that your solution is in going after this constitution. I mean, is it not smart thinking that you narrow this problem down to one thing, constitution? Let's go for the constitution, and that those things that have been stolen from our people will be restored. And I mean healthcare, good road, electricity, water supply, security. I mean, look at Southeast. I literally walked miles from Onitsha into Asaba because I was escaping 3 days or 4 days lockdown a few months ago. It is the Nigerian constitution that has allowed criminals to take over our land. It is the Nigerian constitution that has allowed the emergence of ESN and unknown gunmen. It is the Nigerian constitution that is fueling the terrorist activities by the Fulani and other Islamist terrorists operating across Nigeria. It is the constitution. So if we want solution, it is not changing personnel. And like Dele Farotimi rightly pointed out, and not just him, many others.
Many others.
If you multiply him many times over, it will not scratch the surface. But Nigerian managers, as of today, are too proud to come to this realization. But you know what? We will outweigh them. The constitution of Nigeria must go down, otherwise Nigeria will never know peace.
You see, I don't think the what is affecting these people that are marching along with these guys is pride. I think because of their benefit. Because one thing about some Nigerians, most especially those government officials, because they believe when you are in, it's either you come there and chop from the national cake. You are opportune to come and chop from what has already been prepared. Because right now, the people should understand that there is no cake again.
Yeah.
there is no cake. If they are thinking there is a cake remaining for them to go through another election for Peter Obi to come and share, there is no cake to share. So what we need to do now is to come together and see how we could buy these ingredients, because the ingredients need to come from different ethnic groups. We need to spice the cake we want to bake now, because the previous one that emerged from 1914, that get collapsed from 1963 to 1967 and all of that, it is finished now. So all we need to do now is to go and get the ingredients to prepare a fresh cake, if there will be a cake. So, Dr. Augusta, is there anything you want to contribute to this that has kept the constitution either by the traditional ruler or our religious leader? Because I think these people are not, because if you can control a large number of people and you are not telling them what they should know, that means you are deceiving them. That means you are plucking them into darkness. It's like you sending a child to a farm without cutlasses, or sending a child to school without, you cannot send a university student now to primary 2 to go on. What is it going to benefit from there? So these guys are actually teaching them, but not guiding them on what to do to get out of poverty. You cannot tell somebody today that God will bless you, whereas the atmosphere from where God is going to bless the person from is polluted. The blessing will not. That is why even the Bible talk about principalities and power. You understand? Our Nigeria politicians are principalities and power that are hijacking the blessings of the citizens. And you cannot be binding and casting the devil you've not seen, while the devil you see is right in front of you. You are doing nothing about it. Please, sir, please, man, if there is something you want to talk about, these 2 points, the traditional rulers and our religious leader, because some of them now are telling them to go and get PVC. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Please, if there's something you want to put in, let's spicing up this program before we listen to the tape from Barrister Tony Nandi, before we come back after that commercial.
Yeah, I mean, Brother Steve had already said it, that everybody, in short, in all honesty, everybody is complicit in everything that is happening in Nigeria. Yeah. Everybody, from the top to the bottom, everywhere, everybody is complicit. You know, you asked the other time that what is legitimizing that constitution? Every 4 years that they come off election, it legitimizes the constitution. Yes. Because guess what? They're going to swear on that. Because when we tell people that it's not about changing the driver, it's about changing the instrument itself. That's what we mean. Changing it. And it's not about trying to address the what did they say? They said they want to amend. No, you're not amending something that is already rotten. It's like when you have egusi soup that has soured. It has all the algae and all the whatever microorganism it has built up. It's sour, it's smelling. And you now say you want to cook it until the smell goes off. No, what you do is you throw it away and cook a fresh one. So what we are telling our people is that everybody is complicit. Everybody, from the Reverend Fathers to the pastors to the bishops to the Pope. Well, while I'm using the Pope is that sometimes when it comes to African problem, the Pope kind of like closes his eyes and probably focus on other regions. Yeah. Meanwhile, the people that are being killed is all people that are being killed. The people that swore to become Christian because they brought that to us. The people that are being killed, he closes his eyes against that. Yeah. So that's why I'm including him, because as I said, everybody is complicit. Now we're telling our traditional rulers that somebody would come and give you small money. Like the other time, I remember, I think it was Obiano that bought Jeep or something for the traditional rulers. Yeah. And that will make them not see the truth and tell the truth that Obiano, you are not doing right by our people.
They get compromised.
In those days, yeah, all of them compromised. In those days, our parents, if for some reason, I remember growing up in those days where for some reason, you brought in a car and your parents cannot, authenticate how you got the money to buy that car. Your parents will curse you on the spot. Yeah. But right now, your parents want to even tell you, if you know how to steal the money, go ahead and steal it. That is how complicit the country is. Yeah. And as rightly said, the Constitution gave them all the chances to do whatever they want to do. We have had this constitution for more than 21, 22 years. Nothing has improved in Nigeria. Lately, the senator that was, picked up in London for trying to harvest the organ of a young lad, you understand, for his own daughter, the kind of question you would ask is that, had he put out policies that would help build a standard hospital in Nigeria, there will be no need for him to take his child or his daughter to London to get a kidney transplant. But there are no policies to build that kind of state-of-the-art hospital, because guess what? They know that they have money to fly their daughter to the best hospitals in the world.
Yeah.
And guess what? You will be shocked that the doctors that will actually do the transplant are also Nigerians living abroad.
Yes.
They have caused this brain drain. That all the doctors you can think of that are in Nigeria, they have shifted to any country that would take care of them.
Yeah.
In America here, we have the average Nigerian family is extremely comfortable. I'm not kidding. Because guess what? You have to continue to study until you get a PhD. That is how it is, structured here for us. And you find out that those of us that are struggling to have PhDs, yet we cannot think of having a PhD, somebody that is highly learned or educated, to take hold of that country and give that country what the country truly deserves. So everybody is complicit. The traditional rulers, the pastors, imams, everybody, the priests, all of them. We have them back at the other time ranting nonsense. And you wonder, how would a Catholic priest, because Catholics are not always, I used to be a Catholic anyway, Catholics are not always out there in the open trying to figure out what they don't talk. But we know that sometimes when the condition becomes so unpalatable, they will talk. But the kind of ones that we have are the ones that are so inclined with the politicians, telling the politician, if you do not give me money, you will not win. Or instead of you telling the politician, if you do not build roads for my people, you will not win. If you do not build hospitals for my people, you will not win. If you don't make everything available for my people, you will not win. And the reason why the politicians are not even thinking about building roads or building hospitals or building anything for their people is because that constitution, I think, is section 6C or so, section 6 or section 6C, gives them the power to be able to do whatever they want to do without being reprimanded.
Yes.
It gives them the power to do whatever they want to do without being reprimanded.
And have you seen the people? Have you noticed that the people are not making any demand from all of these people parading themselves as potential candidates? Have the people ever? Nobody have made any single demand of them. Nobody.
Nobody.
Not even from P2P. Nobody is making any demand of them.
They see P2P as like the new hope because they felt that the guy will not give shishi.
Yeah.
In all honesty, if the guy, I'm not his fan. Because as far as I'm concerned, if he's not trying to help pull down that constitution, I can't be his fan, not yet.
Yeah.
But if he's going to pull down that constitution for me, of course, I'm going to be his fan.
Yeah.
But they know what they are doing because they're going to use him. Eventually, they'll say, okay, yeah, we want an instant president. No, Wahala, will give it to you. Thank God you do not give shishi. But they're going to so frustrate him because they want him to do everything that is in that constitution.
You remember?
And they will not be able to do it.
P2P told us of the fact that after he came in, remember his election was hijacked by the Oba family and Chris. So by the time P2P came into office, Anambra institutions were burnt down. And I was home, I saw it. I saw the government radio station, government office was burned down by the Oba family. And upon looking at the repair, P2B saw that the demand for repair was over 800 million naira. And he ended up fixing it with 40-something million naira. And the State Assembly impeached him. They impeached him for stopping them from stealing the people's money. Yes. And so that's exactly how I see the Constitution and the next election.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the impunity.
Because it's going to come and want to probably stop all the waste.
Yes.
What
And
they are really going to fight him and make sure that he does not stop the money that comes directly to them. And that is what we are saying. Put down that constitution that gives them that power to do that. So that when you come, you won't have that problem. Go ahead.
This is one thing I wanted to say. Everybody is campaigning for you to be the president, but you forgot that the House of Senate and the House of Rep, they can impeach the president if he fails to comply to the rules. And this Labour Party now has no candidate there already on those people. The people you will have there are representative from these political gurus, these political lions like APC and PDP that are championing this same constitution that has been existing for a very long time. I'm telling Nigerians, you cannot build the hope of that nation by a main talk that is coming from an aspirant. Let's set up a constitution that we say you are going there to go and work according to this constitution. The constitution has demand you go there and work, not with your own agenda, but the agenda of the constitution. I don't know why these people are failing to want to understand. We have another caller this afternoon. Brother Mr. Steve, let's take this caller. Oh, the call went off. Brother Steve, it's like you wanted to say something before I interrupt you. Please continue.
Essentially, we're all on the same track. I was about to say that our people need to look deeper than the surface.
Please, I will still obstruct you. Let me take this caller.
Please do.
Please do.
Hello. Oh, I think there's a network problem.
And let's continue. Once you get the call, if it is okay, then we'll stop. Okay. So the whole thing about Nigeria that our people are not getting is that this country cannot fix itself the way it is. Nigeria is in a total mess. Nigeria is taken over by criminals in two gangs, in the APC and
Hello,
PDP.
good afternoon.
Hello, good evening from here.
My
name is Ify. I'm calling from Germany.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for calling into Lower Niger Radio. Please, the topic before us, I guess you must have been following us. If there is one or two things you want to contribute on today's program, please, the floor is open for you to give us your contribution for Nigerians to know the basis of why we are championing this program.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity this evening. And I thank all of you who are, doing this job. For our people, we cannot overemphasize the ills, the woes, this 1999 constitution, this imposed, fraudulent, rejected, repudiated, with all the adjectives. That constitution is not human. That constitution is very inhuman, very oppressive, very brutal to the people. And the worst is that the people will listen and understand, but they will go another way. That is the problem our people have. You can't continue eating the food prepared for you by your enemy, and then you tell me that you are no more hungry. The enemy will just be luring you to himself. Come and eat. And you will not even ask questions because our people are very lazy in thinking. Many of our people are just wishful thinkers. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to be part of the job. They don't want to be part of that solution. They only complain and cry and wail. And that is very unfortunate. But I thank you people for projecting this this truth, this message of hope to our people, if they will only listen. But in any case, there's a lack of knowledge. People perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Thank God that Ninas has already prepared and then brought something on the table. It is left for them to come and eat. And if they go their own way, it is their fault.
Yeah.
It is their fault. So the Nina's proposition is very simple, direct, and clear. And the worst part of it is that the enemy, the Fulani, they understand all these things very well. But our people are just filled with noise making. And once you are making a lot of noise, you cannot understand anything. You cannot think properly.
Yes.
Take, for example, Ghana. Ghana was colonized by Britain. And they gave the name Gold Coast. And since they have changed everything, they are now progressing. But Nigeria is stuck up with the name given to them by the British colonial masters. And they don't want change. How can somebody think that even election, even the same man we are, every person is echoing now, as if to say he's decent. I am not castigating him. I'm not saying he's. I just remain neutral about him. I mean, our brother Peter Obi. Many people will now be asking, what can he come up with? What is, the change he is bringing? And let us remember that he visited Britain. They invited him. And when he came back, he dumped the PDP he was in and then married LP. What do you call it? Labour Party.
Labour Party, yeah.
And like our brother said, they don't have even the representatives of members of the National Assembly in the House. So how is he going to function? Let people think. God gave us wisdom, intelligence to think and think. He has already provided answers to our questions. He has already provided solutions to our problems. But if they want to go back and continue to wallow in this ignorance of, this all the woes Nigeria has become for them, it is left for them. They are all adults. None of them is a child. Even a child understands the principle, all the proposals of Ninas. But another thing I want to add now is, can our people just listen and do the part of Ninas? If it fails, let us take the responsibility. Let the Ninas, let those who are signatory to the constitutional force majeure, let those who have been supporting and bringing the Ninas proposals to the public, let them take the responsibility. But at least go and try that way. You have tried the other way. You have tried Biafra restoration. You have tried Igbo presidents. You have tried the Southeast extraction, whatever. It is not working. And you keep crying that Fulani herdsmen are in your forest. So is it making a lot of noise? Obedient. Is it going to solve the problem? The answer is no, capital no. And moreover, I thought Peter Obi is coming to level everything, not this one honorable, this one His Excellency, this one is distinguished, and all of them are taking a lot of money, while the average citizen of Nigeria is suffering untold hardships. Today, there is no light. They are battling with power. Tomorrow, the fuel scarcity is there. I saw a post that they are going to cut off supply of petrol to Southeast. How is it going to be? Nobody knows. Remember, we have all these natural resources like natural gas, petroleum products, but because of that constitution, we can never, do I repeat? We can never produce our own petroleum. We can never. They put it in the hands of Dangote, and Dangote will be refining it and then selling back to the people. Why is it that all the posts, all the agencies, all the important posts are manned and under the control of the Fulani, and people are not asking questions? So, my dear people, Peter Obi is not going to become the Almighty God who does everything with impossibility. In fact, with whom nothing is possible or impossible. Sorry.
Yes.
He's not going to change the status quo. He is going to swear on that constitution to preserve it, to defend it, and to uphold it. So what are we talking about? Let people think. I wish my people will think. I wish my people will just know the road, the direct road to their permanent freedom, instead of following somebody who will just be there for 4 years, at most 8 years. I pray.
If you thank you very much for your submission.
Very wide to see what is going on. I thank you, and God bless you for what you people are doing. Thank you. And bye.
Thank you so much for this wonderful contribution. And I want to quickly make this analysis, because the Arewa has came out long before obedience started reigning, that power is not going to either southeast or southwest. And I still believe on that statement they made, because those people, they don't joke when they are moving with their agendas. I believe too well, because Nigeria cannot hold a how will I say it, a democrat electoral system. The election if the election will take place, there is no way, if even Peter Obi has his candidate all over Nigeria, that they will allow him to win that election. That is number one. And number two is, if he wins that election, the Fulani and the bandits, the terrorist people that disrupted Ebele Goodluck Jonathan regime, that they've went on silent a little while now, because they are watching from afar, preparing themselves, want to see who is going to emerge winner, so that they will come out again with force. Because Nigerians now are not thinking about that. When Buhari came at that time, I said the youth are lazy. It did not say the youth are lazy in thinking or in creativity. He said they are lazy in thinking politically. They are not thinking, because Nigeria cannot function without politics. Because with this political way, we can elect our government and all of that. So politically, our youth are lazy to understand the basis of what can transform our nation. Mr. Steve, sorry to cut you short. Please, can you, Sister, if you said something about cutting gas supply to the southeast, it's now become somebody that prepared food. You will not even allow the person to eat his own food again. You see problem, person will get food, though, now him plant the food, now him advest them, now him prepare. And what eat now, you can't carry a command for a month. You say no go see the food eat. Because all you do is carry the crude oil to where there is no crude oil. Carry it to Cameroon and outside the border of Nigeria and start, in fact.
Yeah, let me just support Ife's position there. You see, I keep mentioning Dele Farotimi. He called Nigeria iniquitous. He called Nigeria one of the most dysfunctional countries in the world, and we all know that. Nigeria is the #1 dysfunctional country, the capital of poverty, the country with the greatest number of terrorist groups operating out of it, Nigeria. And so expecting anything like justice in Nigeria is like trying to squeeze water out of rocks or pebbles. It's not possible. The only solution, they have cut Southeast off a long time ago in a lot of ways. And I will mention those ways. But the only solution to all this problem is the multi-regional referendum that we're calling on. That's what NINAS is all about, the Nigeria Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. They have cut Southeast off on the road network, on the rail tracks, on airports. Everything that makes a place functional has been denied the Southeast. And so it is the people that are doing whatever they can to survive and to keep themselves afloat. So nothing surprises me about what is going on in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that produces oil and gas, crude oil and gas, and yet pays billions and billions of dollars to refine it elsewhere, losing at least 7 or 8 byproducts in the process. Because every time they move crude oil out, those other byproducts never comes back. It pays so much money to bring the fuel back. Now, we can continue to enumerate all that is holding Nigeria down. But I thank the goodness that some people were alive and connected and thinking right to have come to the conclusion, you know what, this is the conclusion of the matter. If you want to solve Nigeria's problem, deal with the Constitution. It is the 1999 Constitution that is keeping us with our killers and the invaders, those who are looking for homeland for the Fulani. And people ask me, why do you focus on the Fulani all the time? Why wouldn't I focus on the Fulani? Because the activity of the Fulani is different from the activity of the OPC. It is different from the activities of those misguided elements who are asking for exit. Upon exiting Nigeria, rule of law will stabilize our places.
Measure Fulani, I will measure Nigeria government for you.
Yes, that is it. That is it. That is it.
When you say Fulani, Nigeria government.
Yeah. You know, for these people to actually think that they can come into Nigeria and have their way as they want, with the collaborative effort of Southerners and Middle Belt.
Yeah, well, Judas good.
If they are not part of it, it won't continue as it is. So I have been trying to communicate this across to our people. Our number one enemy is actually those from our communities who are collaborating with these people to extend the slavery, including everyone that is looking for political means to get into office. They cannot change nothing. We need to fix the constitutional basis of our relationship with the rest of Nigerians, especially the caliphate. That 12 Sharia states, that 12 states that started declaring Sharia from Zamfara state in 2000, Ahmed Sani Yerima, he started the introduction of Sharia according to the plan of the caliphate, and it covered 12 core northern states. The only thing that is binding us with them is the constitution. Change of personnel will not change that constitution.
At all.
But the people can change it through referendum. Through referendum, I call it binding multi-regional referendum. If we do this, then we are now taking the first step out of the prison. Right now, the people in our Ondo State are yet to bury the many people that were murdered in that church. Right now, the people in Kaduna, in Benue, in Plateau, in Anambra State, in Abia State, were everywhere. All the killings taking place is being done by people that are being protected inside Nigerian military bases. The Fulani, they are always camping around military bases. Some of them make home inside military barracks. I have seen it. They are being protected by the system that's supposed to be looking after the people. And so, how can you want a vehicle to go forward and you are in reverse gear? That's where Nigeria is. Terrorists are controlling Nigeria as we speak.
The Nigerian army is full of bandits and Boko Haram. How can you rehabilitate people? And the people, those people victimized, you did not care about them. I don't know. In fact, our people have failed to understand the agenda. I think I was reading an article this morning where Obasanjo was saying the reason why Nigeria has not been Muslimized is because of the Southeast, the Ijaw, and some other ethnic group in Nigeria. If not, Nigeria should have been Muslimized for a very long time.
Obasanjo himself is also part of the
Obasanjo, brother Donald, Obasanjo is the number one. And you know when they talk about Judas goats?
Yeah, he's the chief.
Obasanjo is the chief superintendent or whatever.
The chief Judas.
The Judas goats.
He's trying to, he's a very good manipulator.
He tries to play soft so that they will see him as an elder statesman. But no.
Yeah.
Obasanjo was there. The Sharia thing started when Obasanjo was in.
Yes.
When they told him that they wanted Sharia, Obasanjo said, "Oh, don't worry, it's going to fizzle out." These are his exact words.
Yeah, that it's a political Sharia.
It's going to fizzle out with time. Let them make their noise.
Yeah.
And these people told you that they are not making noise, that they want to carve out their own system so that they could be ruled by Sharia.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing for people that actually want self-determination.
Yeah.
For a country that is supposed to be secular, Obasanjo said, okay, you know what? Don't worry, it will fizzle out. This thing never fizzled out.
Yeah.
It actually expanded to the 12 other states.
Yeah.
It started first in Zamfara. By this same Yerima, I think it was the one that started it. It started first in Zamfara. Before you know it, had moved to other parts of the north. So these people have told you that, hey, they want their own self-determination. And I'm wondering, what is still keeping all of us together? If not that 1999 constitution? If they have moved on with what they wanted, why are we still inclined? Why are we still with them?
Yes.
Why are we still with them? Why are our politicians not reasoning?
Well,
for how long do you think you can hold on to power? For how long do you think you can siphon all the money? Now, I'm sorry to bring back Ekweremadu. Ekweremadu was there for 20-something years, and he could not do one single policy that would at least make a hospital available for his child that now has to get transplant for a kidney.
Yeah.
If we had that kind of system, here in America, they have a big system where organ donation is voluntary.
Yeah, you don't pay for it.
You do not pay money for organ donation.
Yeah, you don't.
Your ID card will have that donor tag. In case something happened to you, probably you were involved in an accident and you died, your ID card will have a tag showing that you want to donate your organs.
Yes.
And they cannot get back to you because you wanted to donate your organ because you had died and you didn't have that tag on your ID card. They will call your family and beg your family to allow you to donate your organs to people. And if your family agrees, fine. If they did not agree, you carry your cups and go.
Yeah.
They have a system, and that system is called UNOS, UNOS, where every individual they will register you all over America. They will register you. They will register your name. You put your name there. Anytime an organ is available, wherever you are, they will call you that the organ is available. Go to your hospital. They will fly wherever you are. They will fly the organ down to you.
Yeah.
But this guy, in his stupid senselessness, had to get somebody, whether the guy is 21 or 15 or whatever, had to move a young child to UK to go and donate organ to his daughter. And I'm told that he has 3 or 4 other kids. Does that mean that none of your kids could donate one of their kidneys to your daughter?
Thank you.
What about you yourself? Does that mean your kidney is not compatible with that of your daughter? Okay, oh yeah, he has goofed, he has probably drank a go-go and damaged his kidney. What about your wife's own?
No.
That's what we're saying. You believe that you have money to protect your family. You believe that you have money, that there's nothing money cannot buy. The commonwealth of the people you are supposed to represent.
Yeah.
You took their money, put it in your personal pocket, decide to fly your child to the best hospital in the world.
Here's what is happening. Nigeria.
Sorry, brother. Let me just feel, because I'm so passionate about this. That boy eventually, as I said, I really don't care his age. His age does not matter. Yes. He was able to, at least he has left his family of abject poor. Whether he was a homeless boy or not, that's not my problem. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody is homeless.
Yes.
If you don't have 24 hours supply of light, water, and good roads, you're homeless.
Yes.
If you live in an apartment, the last time I traveled to Nigeria, for that 1 month I was there was no light.
Yes.
We were changing a generator. When we put this one on for 5 hours, we shut it down, put the other on for 5. What lives like that?
It's hellish.
What lives like that with the smoke and carbon monoxide that comes in if you put it close? Who lives like that?
Nigeria is embarrassment to Africa.
Embarrassment to Africa.
Yes.
Like that.
And yet we said we are the giant.
If
Nigeria stand up today, black race have stood up in the entire universe.
Yes.
There is no country like Nigeria in the whole world. No country like Nigeria.
None.
And you see, Ike Ekweremadu is a perfect representation of Nigeria.
Of the spoils, of the ruin of the country.
It is that Nigeria that thinks that they have the money and the privilege to do whatever. From his office, he wrote a supporting letter for this young man's visa to make sure that he gets visa to go to UK. The same Ekweremadu would have refused other people's appeal for him to issue a letter to them to travel. But he did it because of his selfish needs. He wants to take care of his daughter. Well, thank God he is part of those that have destroyed our country. Mm-hmm. And thank God he actually is sitting in jail right now for doing what? Ignoring his people and thinking that his personal interest is the interest of the people. That is what destroyed Nigeria. The political elite thought that the people's interest, that their own personal interest is their people's interest. I mean, look at Chris Ngige. Chris Ngige went into government. His wife is a permanent secretary. His brother is something in the government. About 5 family members are in government with him. 6 of them. Is that the interest of our people? How does such serve to benefit the people? And so the country is where it is because there is a slave document, there's a slave deed that requires few people from there, few people from here to join hand with the major criminal agency, which is the Fulani, working for the British to keep us perpetually in bondage. It makes nonsense of the 1st October 1960 independence. Nigerians have not attained any independence. And so the PVC surge should rechannel their energy and said, no, we need referendum vote. NINAS have provided the source, the means, the solution, the way to go, so that we can actually begin the process of nation building. Because current criminals populated in APC and PDP will not rescue Nigeria. They are rather taking it down. They are stomping on Nigerians. Tinubu the other day said, this is the way to fix the security. Get 50 million. He called 50 million youths.
To be put it on Nigeria Army.
Put them in the farm. And they will
Is that what they will eat? Cassava, corn?
And that's what they will eat. A friend wrote an article on this, to which I also added my commentary that Tinubu is actually attacking Nigerian youths, but the youths don't get it because he have few of them around him that he gives money. He bribes them to keep them quiet. I mean, who says that to their own people? Should it be the business of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tell Nigerian youths what to do with their lives? Or is it he's not even telling them any policy moves? He's just humiliating the people more.
Tinubu, but I still, let me help you. Tinubu's case is so different. First of all, the man is sick.
Very sick.
Very, very sick. And trust me, I'm not like that age. You should expect one dilapidating condition. You know, if you don't have high blood pressure, that would kill you. You would have high cholesterol that would kill you. As you grow old, you start having all kinds of degenerative diseases. In his own case, he has a brain disorder. He has a CNS disorder, a central nervous system disorder. He has it. He has what is called Parkinson's disease, where the dopamine in his brain is depleting. It's clearing. And as it's clearing, they gather again. You see the tremor. You see his hand shaking. He could not even hold the flag. It's because the system is shutting down gradually.
He has the bladder disorder too.
So, when people say that, that the pee, because they've been showing the back of his agbada where you feel that it is pee. It is not pee, it's a male. If it is pee, the pee should shoot forward. The agbada should be standing in front. So it is boo-boo that the guy is poo-pooing. You understand? Yes, I'm not kidding you. He has urinary incontinence.
It's even worse than what we are thinking.
Fecal incontinence, he has both. Because his system is shutting down. He's a sick man. You understand? And no amount of diaper can help him. I'm sure they're tripling or quadrupling the diaper that he wears. So no amount of diaper can help him. That person is sick.
But if the system is okay, a candidate medical history is to be looked upon before giving you the ticket.
The guy is sick, and you see some people still saying Jagaban, and I'm like, duh, you people are just brain dead, as they rightly said. Because the guy is sick, he needs to go and rest. First of all, he has put Lagos in his pocket, where every money that comes into Lagos goes directly to his pocket.
Yeah.
His daughter is Iyoloja. His daughter is 61 years old.
Yeah, so his age is not clear.
He's claiming 69 or 70. You understand? I don't know when he started giving birth. That must be a miraculous birth. His son is vying to become the governor of Lagos State after this one. Then his wife is the senator or whatever. And she's also a pastor. You know all this fake pastor. You know what I want to know why a pastor. That escapes me anyway. A pastor. And he has not, for people said, oh, he helps this person. He helps that person. He helps that person. Duh. Where did he get the money to help anybody?
Yeah.
If not the fact that he is in control of the entire West, where all the money that comes, especially in Lagos, goes directly to his pocket.
Yeah.
And this guy has criminal records. What some people do not understand is that if eventually you made him the president, anytime his leg enters the US here, they would arrest him.
Of course.
Yeah, I think Augusta just froze. Yeah. Anyway, the whole thing about Nigeria is that our people need to actually wake up and face reality. We should stop looking for these shortcut measures, like shortcut solutions, trying to avoid what we must go through.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria must go through referendum vote. Otherwise, it doesn't look good for Nigeria.
You see, if they go through, you know what the crossroad is. Nigeria is at the crossroad. And if these people fail to listen now, they will only prolong their suffering for another, because none of them are willing to serve for 4 years and go. It is either double tenor. They like taking it twice. You understand? That means they prolong their suffering for another 8 years. But trust me, whoever emerged winner, and nothing changed, the people are going to kick against them. Because the people are very much alive. But we are saying, why keep prolonging this suffering when you can end it now? That is my take. Why prolonging this suffering? You can end it now. You can just end it now. I don't know if we can quickly go on a quick commercial and quickly listen to this clip from Barrister Tony. And when we come, we talk a little more, and we'll be expecting some callers to call in too, and we'll see how the day goes, because we've really covered a lot of places that we should touch, and we are well prepared. We are equipped. The Nigeria Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination has given everyone the platform. Please, let's listen to Barrister Tony Nandi as we come back for after this commercial.
Yeah, this broadcast is directed at addressing the issues arising around this PVC revolution. Young people from all across the country are going to get their PVC to vote at election in 2023 in order to achieve change. Ostensibly, they are convinced, many of them, that P2B is the change they are looking for, because compared with the candidates on the other two party platforms, it looks to them like he is just the one that will change everything that is wrong with Nigeria, starting with corruption and the general efficiency of government. That is the limited, that is their limited, knowledge of what is at issue. And so we've come today to explain to our people why NINAS launched a massive campaign against PVC as part of its strategies for halting the journey to election 2023, and also enforcing the termination of the life of the 1999 Constitution. It was the 1999 Constitution, it was the termination of the life of the 1999 Constitution that was the reason for programming the shutdown of elections that will renew the life of that Constitution in 2023, for which reason PVC was targeted as a point of engagement to get people to direct their energies at the more important transaction of halting the journey and taking down the Constitution that is the source of all the problems. And so it is in that, against that backdrop, that we'll be engaging what we think should happen to the revolution, the mobilization of the young people and the populace in general into the political space to help determine what will happen is a very good thing, very, very good thing. But the change that that revolution should target must also be defined. so that we don't go back to the kind of thing that happened when in 2014, 2015, people were shouting, change, change all over the place. And people actually got attracted into that campaign, and they went in and voted for change. We have seen that because they didn't define what the change they were looking for. Even at that time, we were telling them that it is not Buhari that is the change, because he's not going to address the source of the problems tormenting them, the constitution that makes them slaves in their homelands. They didn't. The noise was, overwhelming, and they went in that euphoria of change. They got the change. Again, in 2020, when the NSAS, erupted, they wanted the momentum, the energy they brought together. We tried to reach them, to explain to them that energy, that momentum should be directed at the base of the problem, the base of the source of the problem that is tormenting them in different ways. Police and their brutality was just one small aspect, but that's the one that triggered the revolution, the botched revolution of the time. But it went beyond the police to include the electricity that will never be there, the corruption that was growing, the impunity that was always ever present, and the infrastructure, the deficit, the in fact decay, the inequalities in the land, quota system that exclude them from every opportunity, and all kinds of things, all those things that have brought Nigeria to becoming the poverty capital of the world. With them, the young people are the front lines of what was going wrong. And so when that NSAS erupted, we tried to get them to see, we tried to get their leaders to frame their demand around that constitution that is the source of the problems, including the centralized police system that became the reason for the SARS they wanted to end. So that in that, the energies available at the time would have been enough to knock off the basis of that constitution if they listened for a moment. Of course, the ones organizing them didn't quite pay attention, and so they framed a demand that was so watery. Oh, go and pay police salary, build a new house, and all will be well. Of course, it didn't take the government 24 hours to say they have accepted their demand. Therefore, their continued presence on the street became something untenable in the eyes of many. Nobody listened as much as we tried to explain to them in those several days of being on the street, until they shot at them at Lekki Toll Gate, wasting that whole effort. Because if the demand had been crafted pointedly at the constitution that is the source of the problem, because even to this date, that's still the source of the problem. Whether it is ASU that is on strike indefinitely, or it is the killings that we see in the Middle Belt, or it is the Niger Delta whose assets have been seized by that, all the corruption we see, or the impunity we see, all those things are flowing from that constitution. And so any revolution, including the one of PVC of now, any revolution that leaves that 1999 constitution intact is a failure, is a victory for the caliphate that imposed that constitution. The Fulani that is standing on the authority of that constitution, that fraudulent constitution, to take over Nigeria as homeland for the Fulani while killing off all other people. I repeat, any revolution, that is to say, even if we get to election in 2023, which we are still canvassing, and we're going to canvass it to the date of voting, to the date of swearing in, and beyond, that we can't continue to build our democracy, to build a union on the fraudulent constitution that make us live in our homeland. Those who do not understand it today will understand it tomorrow. But we pray that their heads will still be on their shoulder, because the people who are inviting them to election, the caliphate has a problem. The Fulani, from the time we launched the constitutional force majeure in 2020, December 16th. The caliphate had two big problems arising from that action, because that action was more or less the beginning or commencement of enforcement of a consensus of the owners of the land, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. That alliance excludes the foreign marauders who are killing in the east, in the west, in the middle belt, who have seized all the points of control in the land, standing on a constitution they imposed since 1967, codifying in 1979 and reinforcing in 1999. That is the source of all of the things we complain about in Nigeria. And nothing will change, including everything you thought. Nothing will change except that constitution is taken down. Like apartheid constitution of South Africa was the reason for the conditions of the blacks who owned South Africa. And so, where we are is that we are at the threshold of another huge opportunity in which, by providence, there's this, just like the NSAS sprang up from some incident in Benin or somewhere. This also has been triggered by the incident of P2B that left PDP, primaries, when we saw the volume of corruption that was happening. 50,000 per delegate, all kinds of figures were thrown about. We saw it repeat even worse in APC, where we began to hear $60,000 per delegate. And so the P2B that left and joined the Labour Party became an instant, some kind of fresh air from these two. And the candidates, we saw the candidates that emerged in the other two platforms. So first, this revolution of let's go get PVC so that we can end all of what is wrong with Nigeria, is coming from mainly from what is perceived of the two candidates that have emerged in the two parties. Is basically a referendum on the status quo. This revolution going on now is a rejection of the old order more than any other thing else. Now, P2B, who is the incidental beneficiary of that, frustration with the old order, may become president if everybody gets PVC, if INEC and all the people trying to frustrate them, those who do not quite expect those new PVC seekers to vote for them, are doing everything to frustrate even the registration. We saw it in Lagos, where people who went to register were being attacked. And we see how INEC is trying to more or less make it impossible for too many people to get it, because they all have their plans. The caliphate, like the video we've done before, which we titled, 2023 as caliphate decoy for the caliphate conquest onslaught. That is the election we see coming, the election that is being advertised rambunctiously by the operators of unitary Nigeria, is something that is question of life and death for the people advertising it. Because the action we took, NINAS, has in building the alliance we have, the alliance of the South and Middle Belt, isolated the caliphate that held all of us by the jugular all these years. They are now a hopeless minority, and the rest of Nigeria that is waking up to the realization that they're actually being enslaved by this invading, foreigners. It's not an easy situation to deal with. And the constitution by which that minority had held sway for close to 50 years. 1999 was just what do you call things that are brought back from the dead, the reincarnation of 1979 edition. 1979 was a codification of the victory from 1967 alliance that became war up to 1970. So that caliphate had this problem. I said they had two problems. How to take us to election that will be the way to save the life of that constitution and the union of master and servant they own, from which they want to exterminate everybody else. Now, let us get the trajectory, the centrality of that constitution, and the question of election that will revalidate his life in 2023. At a time, those who are suffering from that constitution have already built a consensus against that constitution and the strategy to terminate the life of that constitution by refusing to go to renew it in 2023 by way of election. That is what is at issue. And so this caliphate is struggling to get everybody to election so that they can save the life of that constitution and retain the union of master and servant. And then the Ninas, the indigenous nationalities that have done this 20 years, that is now 22, of efforts to build a consensus first against that constitution and the enforcement of it by this alliance of the indigenous nationalities. So that caliphate has these two problems of how to save that constitution and by extension, how to take us to election that will save that constitution. And therefore, our campaign against the PVC, which was launched long before the primaries came. I'm sure many of us saw the video where we were talking to church leaders to stop preaching PVC that will lead to election that will keep that constitution alive, when we can defeat that constitution and retake our sovereignty from the criminal enterprise that Nigeria has become under that 1999 constitution. And so we wanted to make it clear that it was in furtherance of our onslaught against the 1999 constitution that we targeted election 2023 as something that has to be halted, because the life of that constitution will be renewed if it happens. And it was in furtherance of that attempt to halt that renewal of the life of the constitution in 2023 that we targeted the PVC that was like the currency for dealing with that election. And so when something else has now happened, for which reason young people began to troop out to go to get their PVC to secure the change they think will solve all their problems, the responsibility comes back to us to speak directly to all concerned, particularly these young people that are leading the charge for, like I said before, this revolution is most welcome. The waking up of many to join in asking for change in the land. Excellent. But we are saying that we have to define that change now, so that it's not like the one of 2015 or the one of 2020, where the change that was being sought was not defined. We're inviting the people looking for PVC now to concentrate all these energies on seeking the termination of that constitution that is reason for their situation.
We have heard, and I believe Nigerians, we could easily understand the basis of what Barrister Tony has actually talked about. So I don't know if we have more we can elaborate on our today's topic, because we've really covered a lot of points here. And Mr. Steve, is there something you also want to contribute regards to what Barrister Tony said?
My brother, what can I say? Tony nailed it. We've also said it in different ways, in different terminologies, for how many times God knows. For the election can only extend the enslavement, the slavery. Any further election, any vote casting for presidential election is only playing into the trap of the Fulani in furtherance of their mission, which is to convert Nigeria into their homeland by force, by killings. And there are twin agenda here, Islamization and Fulanization. This is what they are targeting the people of Southern Kaduna, going through Benue, all over. Wherever you have indigenous people, from Southern Kaduna, Middle Belt, going all the way to Oduduwa land and the Lower Niger territory. This is what their mission is. So anybody that is moving forward to vote or to acquire vote, the message is rechannel your energy, demand for referendum, demand an end to that constitution to which incoming president will swear to uphold. So if we want to put an end to the slavery, to the criminality that is called one Nigeria, insist on no further election until we figure out what the hell is going on with the country. Pardon my French. We do not belong together as it is today. Yeah, people can pay money, so much money, in order to acquire tickets to contest for election. In which other country does such happen? That delegates are being bribed, and it is obvious, and nobody is investigating, nobody is looking into it. The highest bidder gets it. And you say that holds anything in store for you? It does not hold anything worth repeating. There is nothing there. It's fraud. It's in line with the document to which they will swear, because it is the foundation. Once it is faulty, you need to figure out the foundation before you build any structure on it. Otherwise, it is bound to collapse. And it may take more lives if nothing is done now. So these youths across the country, in the east, in the west, in the north, in wherever, if they really want to see a change that will change their Lamajiri situation, or the area boy in Lagos, their situation, or the criminal, or the people sleeping on the bridge in the east, if they want change, go to the Constitution. There lies the problem. Thank you very much.
Dr. Augusta, please, if there's one more thing you would like us to say, can we wrap it up? Let's give our last comment to our viewers and our listeners. Please, if you're coming across this video, whatever time you're seeing this video, share, because there is the content of this program. There is a lot for you all to learn, and there is a lot for you to share for others to also listen to. And this program, we're occurring this program every Wednesday and Saturday, and we have an open line for our callers to call in and make their contribution, because by the time we come together and commune together and analyze the situation that is before us, that way we can get a better solution. And please, Dr. Augusta, give the viewers one more word as we call the program a wrap for today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Donald. And I just want to thank our viewers for tuning in today, and hope you all will tune in on Wednesday and Saturday. And as time goes on, we'll continue to feature more important things about why the Constitution has to come down. Yeah, Brother Tony has nailed it all. He has been saying this for a very long time. Why our people are tone deaf is what I really do not understand. The idea of pulling down the Constitution, because somebody was saying that, oh, does that mean that we have to boycott the election? Now, there's a difference between boycotting election and not even making the election to happen in the first place. We're not saying boycott. We're saying do not make the election happen at all. Because if it does not happen, it will give us the chance to talk about transitioning. It will give us the chance to talk about doing referendum. And this referendum will come from the ethnic nationalities. We cannot overemphasize this. We cannot, I don't know what grammar. Do you want us to speak broken? Okay, we not feel overemphasize that. Make una no even show. Now when they talk, it's not about boycotting. Telling all your politicians to close shop, because it does not matter. Putting Tinubu there, Tinubu is going to swear onto that constitution. Putting Atiku, which is the favorite for them, is going to continue the Fulani's agenda. Putting Obi's hands will be tied like this, and you guys would think, oh, Obi is just being stingy. No, the truth is that Obi cannot do anything because it has to swear on that constitution. So we're saying that let us pull down that constitution first. Take it out of the way. The energy that you guys are using for PVC, let us use it for referendum, because you guys will be disappointed at the end of the day. Obi's hands will be so tied that he won't even know what hit him. He will not know what hit him because he will think that, oh, he's doing the Anambra way. No, these people, their eyes are sharp. They know what they want. And they have the backing of the British. Because that's one thing you all do not understand. The British knows that provided the Fulanis are, in charge of power, they will continue to siphon as much as they can. They will continue to, take from us. They know that. So we are telling our people, focus. Before, Nigeria used to have about, I think, I remember Obi saying something one time that in 1960, whatever, Tafawa Balewa borrowed a certain amount of money to get electricity for the country. Since 60, electricity that they had 1,000 megawatt there as at then. Yeah. Now it was about 4,000. Now I'm told that it has gone down. Yeah. How can a country of 200 million people, we are still fighting over power? Guess what? Atiku is the sole distributor of generator in Nigeria. Yeah. How do you think that kind of a man will give you power? Yeah. How do you think that man will allow you to have electricity when he is the sole distributor of generator? Yeah. Dangote that they have made to refine oil that comes from my backyard. Dangote is refining it in Lagos. Yeah. And it's going to sell it to you 100% more expensive than you would have bought it elsewhere. Yes. Why are our refineries not working? Why are all the refineries? I know they used to have Kaduna refinery. They used to have Eleme refinery. I remember when I went there one time, there was gas flaring that could have been collected. And this gas would have been collected and sent to people's homes to have fire to cook or whatever. Yeah. Yes. Why are all those things not working? They are not working because they have made it. It is in that constitution that you cannot do anything about it. If you remember Patton Naji, I don't know, it was I think it is in the US. He went one time to go and build a power plant in Abia State. What happened to that power plant? He wanted to generate a lot of electricity for people so they can sell that eventually. They frustrated him. They frustrated him that he came back home. He came back to the US. Yeah. So that is what they have been doing because that constitution will not make him generate electricity for his people. Yeah. You can imagine with what he installed there. Do you know how much electricity Abia State will be generating? And eventually it will get to other neighboring states. And before you know it, everybody will continue to move. Because it is in their constitution not to make electricity available for you. Yeah. It is there. It is written there. Peter went to Egypt and wanted to get more facts and figures. Who does not know about the facts and figures? Yeah. Who does not know about if you pick an average electrical engineer student or whatever, probably from UNN or whatever, it's going to tell you. Even we have people that didn't even go to school. They know that when you put A and B together, you can generate electricity from them. Yeah. There are several methods of generating electricity. Yeah, there's alternative energy. The solar panel, always the Kanji dam, small dam like this can generate electricity that will power the entire village. Small rivers can generate electricity. So he did not even need to go to Egypt to go and find out how they were able to generate the electricity. He didn't even need to go there because the people that could even sit in their backyard and do that thing are already available in Nigeria. But guess what? That constitution will tell him, hell no, you can't do that. Because we've been led by people that prefer their feudalism, their method of living, which is the rich will continue to become rich while the poor will continue to become poor. The Amajiris of the land. You know why they have Amajiris? Because once these Amajiris get the knowledge of the fact that they have been subjected by their leaders, those people might carry a revolt. Yes. So the best bet not to make them even aware of what is going on is to make them uneducated. And that is why all the schools that Jonathan built in the north, they are not attending it. Yes. And you wonder, why would Jonathan build schools in the north and live his Otokpo village without street light or without good roads? Because he wants to please them. He wants to go there again. Exactly. So we're telling that we're being held by these people. The constitution is what is holding us. But if we break down that constitution, pull it down, and everybody goes their separate ways, we'll go back and rethink in our ethnic communities and say, okay, do we want to come back to this union? And if we decide, okay, we want to come back to the union, we'll say, okay, this is how we want to be ruled. We give you our own constitution. If we like it, we merge. If we don't like it, we go our separate ways. Those that want to go with a Yoruba nation, they will go with a Yoruba nation. And if they decide they want to use Tinubu as their head, that's fine. All they need to do is to treat Grandpa well. Yeah. That's what they need to do. Those of us that want to go to our Lower Niger, we go on our own. And leave the Arawa people to be on their own. But if we continue to say, okay, don't worry, Peter is going to come and turn it around, you guys will be shamed though, because they would frustrate him. He may have the heart to want to come and repair stuff, but the truth about it is that he will be so molested that he won't even know what hit him. So the best bet for all of us is to say, you know what? We are not even going to entertain the fact of election next year. We want the referendum now. And that energy of PVC is what would even lead us to get that thing faster than we can ever imagine. And by so doing, everybody will go and rest. Yeah. So thank you all for joining us today. I really appreciate all the time that
the youth should understand that they are fighting the just cause in a wrong way, in a wrong manner. So it is not all about the idea of the aspirant. It is the system that the aspirant is coming to work on. Is what is the problem. This is what we are trying to educate them. The system cannot work for anybody. Nobody it can work for, because it is meant not to work for anybody. So that energy now, Nigerian youths that you are using to champion for PVC and all of that, and our celebrities, our Nollywood actors, our musicians, and all our celebrities, you guys have done tremendous well for the country, and we're not trying to discredit you people for the good work that you have done and putting Nigeria in the map where we are today, but we are telling you guys that you guys should understand the basis of upon Nigerian politics has been structured on. That is not a good structure. This is not a record label. This is not a moving production. This is politics. And we that are political inclined are giving you guys the guideline. A lot of learned people have come out to analyze this issue, that the structure of Nigeria is the problem and the basis issue that Nigeria is facing today. Please, you guys should join us to champion this goal, for us to go through the structure and the foundation of this country to ensure that we build a better nation. Because if we want to take this problem from the surface, we are incurring and impounding more problems for our unborn generation to come and face. Our parents fail to handle this situation. Let us not prolong this suffering and leave it for our unborn generation to come and handle. This is the platform we are giving every Nigerian. That is why the Nigerian Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination, NINAS, is calling on every Nigerian, calling on the youth, calling on, be you man, a woman, a boy, or a girl, a small-scale business owner that has been locked in your cage, not to be able to come out with that idea, because we cannot say Dangote is the most productive person in Nigeria. But what we are saying is this: be you a general overseer of a church or an imam of any kind, please, we are calling on every Nigerian. We must rebuild this nation for us to become a better nation, if we choose to want to exist as a nation. Thank you so much all for coming together. Brother Steve, if there is one more word you want to say, or if we can call it a day for today.
I would say something.
Thank you.
Our focus is on referendum.
Yeah.
And what that will lead to is a new birth.
Yes.
It will give Nigerians of different nationalities the opportunity for new beginning.
Yeah.
I'm not for rebuilding Nigeria. Personally, I do not subscribe to rebuilding that country. Nigeria should be torn down through a controlled demolition process. That's what the opportunity referendum is offering Nigerians, to have the country sorted out in the most peaceful way to save lives. There will be no need for unknown gunmen in the southeast. There will be no need for killings in our Oshu State, in our Oduduwa Nation. There will be no need for any killings in the Lower Niger Territory or Middle Belt. The only thing that will lead us to this is when the churches begin to tell their people the truth. The Christian churches, starting with the Catholic Church, need to tell their people the truth, that they are under invasion, that they are being encircled, that the people are being encircled. What's the way out? Preach referendum to the churches, to the congregations. Catholic, Anglican Church, Pentecostal, all kinds of white garment churches, every one of them. In fact, the herbalists, they should all preach to their visitors about how to get out of Nigeria through referendum, through the message, through the gospel of Ninas. Anything else is just dressing the surface of this injury that goes into the marrow. Nigeria is done. So all this money settlement, money can't fix Nigeria. If money will settle Nigeria, Atiku don't even need to come to try presidency. He can divert some of the money that he is stealing with the vice president of Kenya, Ruto. He should channel it into Nigeria and fix it. But no, Nigeria has gone beyond that. Nigeria needs to be structurally rejigged, a constitutional reordering through referendum vote. And if they think that this is just going to fizzle away, they are wasting their time, because we are going to outlive them. And we'll continue to remind our people of what we are doing now and what we will continue to do. If they don't listen, if this revolution about PVC doesn't actually change their message and say, you know what, we had NSAS, we see how you treated our people, how you killed them. But now we are demanding for way out. So that's the only thing I think that will help our people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steve.
Yep.
I will say today we've been able to cover a lot of places, a lot of points, and we'll come here on Wednesday. We'll be here by 7 p.m. Nigeria time to throw more lights on why the multi-binding regional referendum is the only way to stop the killings that is happening in Nigeria and bring back our sovereignty. God bless you all, Mr. Steve, Dr. Augusta, for joining this program today. We'll call it a day. And thank you all our callers for calling in. And we'll see you again on Wednesday. And stay tuned, and God bless you. Please don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to follow our page, because we are hitting it and we will not stop.
There's no going back. Thank you very much. Thank you, Augusta. Thank you, Donald.
Bye for now.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.